History is full of great men accomplishing fantastic deeds, of leaders who, despite the odds, persevered to greatness. Today, when we look back at the heroes of antiquity, we do not see their lives just as they saw them. Rather, we see their lives as woven tapestries, a complicated collection of triumphs and tragedies, relationships and ideas interwoven throughout a person's life. These reveal character and show what people are made of. Some threads are hidden behind masks. Others are on display for all to see. Certain fibers reveal the beautiful gold and silver strands of greatness and leadership, which are a joy to look upon, while others are interwoven with a murky darkness that reviles you to your very core. Some tapestries are simple, and others are complicated. Regardless, each person's tapestry is unique, created by their life, the sum of the whole held together by what they believe at their core. Once upon a time there was a man, weak in stature and constitution. He stood only 5'3" and suffered through bad health his entire life. In appearance, he was a tiny man, but in moral fortitude he was a giant. His name, William Wilberforce. And his tapestry, his life is something to behold. A legacy still beautiful, even through the passage of time. His motto appears at every weave: Nos non nobis. Thus we labor, but not for ourselves. This worldview was the tie that bound his life together. For you see, William is one of the unsung heroes of history. For in 1803, after more than 20 years of struggle, William accomplished through legislative means and without firing a single shot what the United States was only able to accomplish through a bloody civil war. Almost single-handedly, he crushed the British slave trade and caused the shipping of slaves from England to cease. Today, when we look back at Wilberforce's life, we see a beautiful tapestry of grace, amazing grace. Moving on, we come to another tapestry, another life. On a background of sky blue and ocean green, we see strands of silver, gold, and a brilliant orange. Each thread connects and magnifies the whole. The phrase, "Perpetientia nos vitam," resonates in the lost language of Latin. By endurance, we conquer. The motto of Ernest Shackleton. When his expedition to the South Pole failed in disaster, he safely led his 28 stranded sailors in 3 22-foot-long whaling boats across more than 800 miles of freezing ocean waters. And by his firm and focused leadership, not a single man was lost. In his tapestry, a fiery orange dominates. A glowing ember, a shining beacon, it symbolizes the courage that burned in his heart. His ship was crushed like a tin can, but he did not lose hope. He conquered because he endured. Shackleton, his life was a tapestry of endurance. And we come to the final tapestry, the work of an influential leader, a man skillful in his trade, a leader of men, but not characterized by gold or silver. The dominant color is a thick, dark, murky red, braided in black. This tapestry drips with the blood of the innocent. Void of beauty, a weave of terror, famine, disease, and death, the mind's eye prefers to look away and not consider the darkness of this man's life. A motto binds this one as well. It reads, "Death solves all problems. No man, no problem." Joseph Stalin, the leader of communist Russia and the man credited with the murder of more than 65 million of his own people. 65 million. The thought of what he did sickens the heart. He ruled and led by terror. Stalin was a leader of destruction who wove a tapestry of death. So what does it all mean? Who cares about these tapestries of life? This moment, decades later, we still feel the repercussions of the decisions of others. And not everyone has the fiber to be the head of business or government, but each of us are called to be leaders in some way, to be people of character, in our homes, in our schools, at our workplace, Each of us can profoundly influence everyone around us. In the words of C.S. Lewis, there is no such thing as an ordinary person. You have never talked to a mere mortal. So how is your tapestry progressing? Is it a tapestry of grace, like Wilberforce? A tapestry of endurance, like Shackleton? Or is it a tapestry of death, like Stalin? We all weave our cloth. Some are close to completion, others only just begun. And it isn't just what you do that determines whether your masterpiece is laced with gold or interwoven with darkness. It is your character traits. History's leaders have always been defined by their character: honesty, bravery, trustworthiness, and others. In the words of Reverend Harry Reeder, circumstances don't dictate your character. They reveal it. What tapestry will you make? What banner will you fly? What legacy will you leave?